Hey, welcome to These Values. If this is your first time watching one of my episodes, my name is V, and I just cover my experience with personal finance, faith, and family, and just how all of that truly ties in to personal finance. So if you didn't have a chance to see my last video, again, I am using my Memoji. Just quite frankly, I like my privacy. My wife likes our privacy, but we definitely wanted to share just some of the information that we have just on our personal finance journey thus far. So let's jump into it. The topic of today is going to be the monthly budget. Now, I know there's different budget types that people use. Some people don't have a budget at all and they're just spending money. Some people already utilize a monthly budget, so they think, but they really don't know their true monthly budget. And then there's those that they're just kind of living, they have an idea of some bills that they're paying, but not everything. So we're just specifically going to be focusing on the monthly budget and why I believe that is the best budget out there that you can possibly use. So just a little bit of backstory on how we got here. My wife and I, we were thousands of dollars in debt, had a baby on the way, and we're spending money at an alarming rate. And we didn't have a monthly budget. We were just spending. And that is not a good position to be in because you don't control your money, as I'll get into a little bit later. And if you do see me look down, I have notes. I want this to be valuable. I just don't want to be rambling. Everyone's time is valuable. So just making sure I stay on topic there. So, yeah, that was the situation. We needed a way out, had a kid on the way, didn't have the money to pay for it. And my wife and I just had to sit down and say, hey, we really need to create a budget. So that's what we did. Now, there's different tools out there that it's through technology to where you can manage a personal budget. Starting off, I do not recommend those. Like Dave Ramsey has one. I've utilized it before. But when you utilize those, you really do not have a clear picture of what you're spending. You don't feel the impact of it because it's automated and it's just all keeping track for you. So I recommend just what we and we still utilize this to this day. I recommend having a spreadsheet, which I will be creating a simple one for people to use if they'd like below. But I recommend every day for a month straight go through each line within your checking account. So if you have an app or whatever, it should be pretty simple. Just sign into your account each day, look to see what is being spent and record that within your Google Sheet or Excel sheet, whatever you're comfortable using. And why I say do this is because you really just within that first month will have a very good understanding of where the majority of your money is going. And let me tell you, if most of us are being honest, I feel like it's towards things that we don't necessarily even need. And that was my wife and I's experience. We were spending a lot on eating out, which we knew it was bad, but we didn't know just over the course of a couple months, we were spending thousands. And it was just terrible. And it was hard to know that just as a leader of our family, I put us in that financial situation and just want to help anyone I can, any families out there that may be in a similar situation. Now, at the beginning of this video, I did say that it will be personal finance, faith, and family all in combined, and how that really ties into just personal finance as a whole. One thing that my wife and I prioritize now is tithing. Now, I know not everyone's Christians, but we strongly believe in our faith, believe that Jesus died on the cross for us, and that's just what we believe. And since tithing, our life we manage it so much better. Things just happen when they're supposed to. We're able to have the finances that we need to do certain things and make certain decisions. And I think tithing is a big part of that. And it's not necessarily like we're getting more money or anything, but it really does change your outlook spiritually, emotionally, mentally, just all of those different ways. So yeah, just wanted to say that before I really jump into this because we do prioritize our faith. Now, going into more specifics on the monthly budget, it's going to vary for everyone. Everyone has different expenses. Some people don't have any debt. Kudos to you, because debt, don't like it at all. Don't recommend it. As someone that's had it, had car note debt, had credit card debt, all these different types of debt, I do not recommend going into debt. People that say debt is great, debt is good, just let them create their content and you focus on you and your family, because as someone that's made mistakes with debt, made bad decisions, I'm here to tell you that it takes your money away. It is not valuable to you, in most situations. Now, of course, most of us, to purchase a home, will have to go into a little bit of debt. And though I don't like debt at all, I understand that my wife and I, we're likely going to have to take out a loan in order to purchase a home. But let's jump into why a monthly budget is important. It allows you to live within your means. And I know that saying goes around a lot, but living within your means is, it's freeing. It truly is, because you know your budget, you know what money you have, you know what you can do with it. You're not guessing, you're not worried, am I going to be able to pay this bill? Am I going to be able to pay that bill? Because you're taking care of all of it. You're going in that Excel sheet. You know exactly what's coming out. You know how much you're spending. My wife and I, we know exactly how much we have to spend at the grocery store. And it really does just give us peace of mind because we're not stressing about it. We know that at the end of the month, we're still living within our means. We're not stretching ourselves too thin or anything like that. And man, it's just crazy what it can truly do, and just the opportunity it can open up. And when it comes to personal finance, I look at three things that you're spending money on. You're spending money on the past, which is what? That's your debt. That's, you made a decision in the past that you're still paying for, whether it's still valuable in your life or not, you're paying for it. The present, you got to eat today. You got to have water. You got to be able to get gas in your car if you need that today. And then your future. What's that? That's investing. So all three of those, in the current present, you need to actively be putting money towards those things to create the best financial situation possible for you. And of course, minimizing that debt as much as possible. But just going into the success that my wife and I saw, with our monthly budget, I want to talk about what we prioritized, because there were a lot of subscriptions we had and just things that we didn't truly need. We were spending a lot on DoorDash and just all of these different just apps and things we just truly did not need. So we cut that off. We looked at what was non-negotiable. Like, we have to have food. We have to make sure rent's paid, utilities, gas, like all of these things that are essential to us. Whatever we get as far as income for our monthly budget, that takes priority. After that, what's next? Okay, let's make sure we can save at least a little bit each month, even if it's $100. And for my wife and I personally, we prioritize paying off our debt. We don't want it. Once you really start to know your finances and you see the debt you're paying, it's like, man, like, I'm paying all this money, and it's just like, imagine what I could be doing. We could be saving for a down payment on a home. We could be saving just in case we need a new car one day. We could be investing that for our kids, which I will have a video on that, because I know most of us as millennials slash Gen Z, we are not in the situation where we're just going to be able to have a substantial amount of money for our kids. When they're out on their own. So just different things that I think about, and prioritize within our monthly budget. Those definitely come to the front. The next thing up would just be, uh, just miscellaneous things, because miscellaneous does happen. And in a monthly budget, if you plan for all these specific things that you know are going to happen, but you don't have money set aside for miscellaneous, that is going to destroy your budget. You need to have some money set aside. And then you also need to have a little bit of money set aside for enjoyment. Now, I know this will be controversial, but what my wife and I have found is you can't sacrifice everything while you're trying to get out of debt and be strategic with your money, because when you do that, like, at the end of the day, we're living life. It can be enjoyed. You don't have to blow hundreds of or thousands of dollars each month. You can enjoy it for $100 to $200, or less if you don't want to spend that much. But I definitely recommend prioritizing just enjoyment. Take your wife out to dinner, or I don't know, just go fishing, do something. Like, don't not enjoy life at all because you feel like, well, we don't have money to spend on that. So there's two different sides of the spectrum. There's, man, we need to be extremely tight with our budget. And then there's, yeah, we're just gonna be fluid with our budget and not care at all. You want to be somewhere in the middle where you're still enjoying life, but you're being strategic with your money. And I think how my wife and I determine if a month was successful, like living within our monthly budget, it's, hey, did we continue to make payments on that debt so that we can get it gone? Hey, were we able to profit at the end of the month? Did we save anything? Even if it's a couple dollars, going like, I'm telling you, most of us are losing money. If you do not know where your money's going and it's just on autopilot, I'm telling you, you're likely losing money in areas that you don't know about. And just going through a spreadsheet, just each day going within your account, looking, seeing what's coming out, it will likely change your mindset on how you are spending your money. Now, I strongly believe in investing. I believe in saving for a rainy day as well, and all these different things. But again, like I said, I'm giving real life experience. I'm not telling you you should do this, you shouldn't do this. I'm telling you what's worked for my wife and I, and our daughter, and has allowed us to get to a point to where we had around $50,000 in student loan debt. We're at around 3,500 right now, and we have a 2-year plan to where that's going to be gone. And that's just because of this monthly budget. What I found is, because I've tried to look years out, like, oh, well, if we pay off this much in this year, then we'll have this result. It doesn't work because life happens, things change. But you know what is easier and more manageable to control? A monthly budget. Just take it month by month. And then as you start stacking those months, you'll see, like, man, like, we're really making progress on this. And I mean, my goal is just to help families. Like, it's tough right now. Things are expensive. They're not getting cheaper. So being strategic with your money, again, not planning for, but making sure you're covering your past, be aggressive on repaying that debt. Don't go back into debt that is taking money from you. And then in your current, make sure you're able to just cover yourself. You can have the things that you need to live, and you can go out to dinner once or twice a month too. Make sure to prioritize that as well, because that allows you to keep on with the with the monthly budget and not get sidetracked or anything like that. And then again, for your future, we're not going to be young forever. If you are millennial or Gen Z, or regardless of what stage of life you're in, you're not always going to have an income coming in. Make sure you're planning for your future so that one day when you can't work, you still have income coming in from investments. And I've seen videos where, I mean, people, well, we don't have the money to invest. We're spending it all now. For some, that may be true, but for a lot of us, if we really sit down and analyze where our money's going, we will realize we're leaving a lot of money on the table and giving it to these companies that don't care. They're just taking your money. They don't care. It's autopilot. They're not thinking about you. And man, I just think if we really prioritize our budget, we will start to see that, hey, we actually can live right now. Even though things are more expensive, we are able to live within our means. Uh, we just need to learn to have balance. And I know that's like a cliche thing to say, like, oh, you need to have balance. Yeah, no. My wife and I, we are still living paycheck to paycheck. And if you didn't see my last video, that just means we can't go 6 months to a year without income. Like, we need income. So therefore we're living paycheck to paycheck. How do you get out of that? You have to save. But what can take away from that? Our debt. So what's the priority? We need to attack that debt. So we have a little bit of of an emergency fund to cover us, but we are prioritizing that debt as much as possible to get it gone so that we can have that money back. We can invest more of that money. We can save for a down payment on a home or a car if we need it in the future. Like, it is truly possible. And it's a matter of getting to work. That's really as simple as it is. There's no secret, but there's no reason to do anything drastic either. Like I see people online saying, "Hey, you need to leverage debt. Go to the bank and take out all this money and get your idea going for your business." Like that sounds great, but in reality, is that pushing you forward? Because right now, everyone's not going to be an entrepreneur. Everyone's not going to be able to be this famous influencer or whatnot. And I'm just here to say, I have a normal job. My wife has a normal job. We're able to live within our means. We spend time with our kid. We go on dates. We have time together. We're able to do all of these things and still progress, paying off that past, living in the current, and planning for the future. It is possible and it is doable. And I just want to be uh, a positive voice in that way, because there's just there's so much negativity on, hey, we can't survive, we can't do this, things are too expensive. You can. And at first it wasn't an easy transition. At the beginning, when our daughter was coming, it was tough because we were losing thousands. We had to cut back on our food budget a lot, but we got through it. We learned a lot, and now we are where we are now with the grace of God and Jesus Christ, and just the decisions that we've made. And man, I get passionate about this stuff because I know it's tough out here for a lot of millennials in Gen Z, but it is possible. Well, I'm in my late 20s. My wife is in her late 20s. Like we didn't know what we didn't know. We've made a lot of stupid decisions with money, but I think one of the best things we did is develop a monthly budget and truly know where our money's going so that we know it's being put to work for our past, current, and future. And I know I'm reiterating this over and over again, but I just want to make that clear that that's so important for those of us that have kids and want them to have a good start, whether you had a good start or not. Like our parents, man, we love them to death. I'm not gonna say they were the best with money. They weren't the worst with money either. It's not like they had like a little nest egg that we could utilize from to purchase that home or whatnot. And look, everyone goes through life and it's hard, but if you are in a position where your kid's still young and you have the opportunity to take control of your money so that you can create that space where you can lend your kid $50,000 if they need it for a down payment on a home in the future, why wouldn't you do that? And that's kind of the decision my wife and I had to make. We could have continued on that road of just living dangerously, losing thousands of dollars a month, depleting our savings fund, but we chose not to go down that route, and it's got us to the position now to where we have a positive net worth, which we were 50,000 in student loan debt, and our investments that we had were nowhere close to that. So now we're kind of breaking even, not even breaking even. We are profitable at this point, and that's just, man, that's exciting, and we still have a long way to go. But I think that's why, like, tuning in for this content will be valuable because we are living in it. We're not millionaires. We're not well off. This is like raw, authentic. Like I'm being real with our situation and going to be sharing just different circumstances that we've encountered throughout our journey as millennials and Gen Z, just living this life. And I hope you found value from this video. I hope I didn't ramble on too much. I tried to just mainly talk about why I believe it's important, what to prioritize. Again, those needs, those making sure rent is paid, making sure utilities are paid, making sure we have water, food to eat, all these different things, gas to get to and from work if you commute, or just different things like that. And then just making sure you put money aside for miscellaneous, because as we all know, anyone who's been out on their own before knows things happen. Sometimes you just have to, your oil light comes on in your car, you need a oil change, you have to take it to the auto repair shop. Like, be prepared for those things. Incorporate that so that you can stick to that monthly budget and really start to control your future. Um, and if I sound passionate about this, it's because I am. Like, there's so many videos just being negative about we aren't able to live in the United States and live this so-called American dream. And man, I don't, the American dream to me, that's not what it's about. Live within your means. It's freeing. And Man, I'm gonna continue to preach it. I hope you found value from this content. I will continue to post once a week. Let me know if there's any topics you want me to cover. I will be having other videos going on or just revolving around the monthly budget, going into a little bit more detail. But for this video, I just want to stress how important it is to know where your money's going. If you're not a money person or you're not a math person, you've never used an Excel sheet in your life, man, our money, our personal fund, like we work hard for that money. It's worth taking the time to learn it, to learn that skill, to be able to pass it on to your kids or pass it on to your siblings or whatever the case may be. My wife and I, like we're Christian. We believe in helping others and like showing how faith can really transform your life. And all you have to do is do the work. Like we want to help in any way we can. I think there's some good content out there around personal finance. I think some of it's too sophisticated. It's not simplistic. And some of it is just, it seems like you have to move mountains to fulfill whatever plan they have in place. So just want, again, we we are people that are going through this like everyone else. We are living it day to day. We're living paycheck to paycheck, but we are making progress and making our way out of it, which is why I thought it was a good time to start to record and share the information that we're learning along the way. And again, this is a 20-minute video. I don't want to go too much longer than this. I know we all have lives. We have to get back to work. But my name is V. Again, I'll be posting once a week. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. Thank you.